Well, the summer is winding down in the city of Seattle, and it is a bit sad, but the real estate market is not sad. We're talking about August 2023. We're going to get you dialed into what you need to know, so stay tuned for the monthly market update for August 2023. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matthew Chapman and I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle region. I specialize in helping savvy sellers who want to sell right, who want to sell smart, as well as working with buyers who are looking to relocate to this region. I have people calling me all the time from Florida, from Texas, from across the country, San Francisco, that are wanting to relocate to this beautiful region, and I always enjoy helping you out. So if this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you could just take a moment, click subscribe down below, that would just mean a ton to me. You could also subscribe to my Instagram channel at Chapman Homes HQ, and that way you're gonna get notified on more of a daily basis of what's happening in the market here. So again, in today's video, we're gonna cover a monthly market update for August 2023. We're gonna talk about the Seattle market, we're gonna talk about the East Side market, which tend to be the suburbs of Seattle. We are going to talk about interest rates a little bit. We're going to talk about inventory. So let's get right to it. And if you are new to my channel, you should know that the East Side and Seattle are really two different markets, and they're divided by Lake Washington. So Seattle proper is made up of about 50 plus neighborhoods that are really distinct and unique. And the East Side is just right across the bridge, right over the lake, and those tend to be the suburbs of Seattle. So we're talking about Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland, Bothell, Woodinville, Issaquah, Sammamish, North Bend. Those areas and a few more are referred to in this region as the East Side market. And they really have two different statistical categories that we need to look at that happen in those markets. So first of all, let's look at the Seattle market. So looking into the Seattle market, you need to know what the home values, the average home price is in the city of Seattle proper. And really last month, the average home price was $899. Now that's compared to last year, the home price was $954 on average. So what does that mean? Well, that means we have a decrease in home values in the Seattle market by about 6%. So another thing you need to know about what's happening in the market in Seattle is how many of the homes are selling at or above asking price. Well, it turns out about 61% of the homes in Seattle proper are selling at or above asking just last month. Now, if you compare that to a year ago, only 55% of the homes were selling at or above asking. So it's interesting to note that we have a decrease in home values by about 6%, but home prices are actually landing right around list price. And that's because last year sellers were trying to figure out really what their home values were. They weren't getting the right price, but these days they are listing it for more and more the appropriate asking price. And so you can expect as a buyer that the home is going to land at or above asking, right around that 7 to 12% mark above asking if it gets into a bidding war. The other thing to note is the amount of inventory in Seattle. We are at 10-year lows right now. We're only at 1.3 months supply of inventory, and we are at about 33% of less listings this year than we had last year. So there's not a whole lot to choose from, and that's what is bringing some of the bidding wars and the reason why, even though interest rates are high, home values are really staying steady for the most part in the Seattle and the East Side market. Now let's look at the East Side market. Again, what you need to know is the median home sales price for the East Side market last month was $1.5 million, and that's compared to last year at $1.42 million. So what does that mean? That means we've actually increased in home values on the East Side market by about 6%. So that is good news. That's the trajectory we want to see here in this market. And last year at this time, 38% of the homes were selling at or above asking. And last month on the East Side, 52% of the homes sold at or above asking. And again, we're hovering around the 1.3 months supply of inventory. So we just covered the basic statistics for the real estate market in the East Side and the Seattle region. Now I want to tell you 5 things that you really need to know of what's happening in the market right now as we speak. Number 1, even though home prices are up on the east side about 6% and down in Seattle market about 6%, 4% year over year. Really, if you look at the statistics from December till August, home prices in general in the region are actually up 15%. So that is good to know because we know that the trajectory is actually going up and home prices are going up now in this region. So that's number one. The second thing you need to know about what's happening in the real estate market is that some buyers are lacking a sense of urgency until a particular home gives them a sense of urgency. For example, I was showing a house that had this incredible lake view and it was a mid-century home right on Mercer Island. And, you know, most of the time that house might sit if it wasn't for this spectacular view and the way that this house was designed. And this house actually went off the market with 2 cash offers well before the offer review date. So again, a lot of times buyers are lacking a sense of urgency until the right house comes along that gives them that sense of urgency. And you can expect if you feel a sense of urgency as a buyer over a particular house, there are other buyers that feel that way too. So you need to know that in order to be competitive. All right, let's look at number 3. The third thing you need to know as a buyer right now is that new listings taken are off 34% from a year ago. And they're actually at 10-year historical lows. And so there is just not much inventory out there to choose from. And the big question I get is, Matt, do we expect inventory numbers to increase? Is there going to be more to choose from? Should I really be this picky? Should I hold out and should I wait? Or is this the best that I'm going to see? And the short answer to that is, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you that the industry experts are saying that inventory levels really aren't going to change much in the near future, probably not for several years. And so these are the levels you're going to see, although historically we see inventory levels increase in the spring. So if you're looking for more to choose from, then the spring market would be for you. But again, you should know that's going to bring more buyers to the table because that's when it's most competitive. And the rest of the people around here tend to want to buy in the spring as well. So maybe there won't be the deals to be had in the spring, but there will be a lot of choices, a lot more choices to be had than you're experiencing right now. The fourth thing you need to know as a buyer right now in this market, as we sit in August 2023, is that home buyers are really, there is no move up buyer in this market. People are not really moving because they want to move up into a bigger or better home. Really, people are moving because they are experiencing significant life change. They're relocating for a job, they're getting divorced, but they're not just sitting around at their house saying, you know what, we should get a bigger and better house. That whole market is gone. And that's why we don't have a lot of homes listed for sale, because those people don't want to sell. Why don't they want to sell? Well, it's because their interest rate is hovering around 2 to 3%. And for them to buy a home, they would be buying a home with an interest rate around 7%. And so it just doesn't make financial sense for a lot of home sellers right now to sell and move into a bigger and better home. The only way that makes sense is if they are experiencing a job change or a significant life change. The fifth thing you need to know as a home buyer right now is that interest rates are a challenge right now for you and for the other buyers. Right now, interest rates are hovering around 6.84% on average in the month of August for 2023. And if you compare that to the median home sales price in Seattle and the interest rates that we had last year, that means you are going to be paying about $585 more a month if you buy a house this year with the current interest rates. That same house last year would have cost you $585 a month less just because of the interest rate. So that is a challenge for a lot of home buyers, but if you can afford the monthly payment, now is a really sneaky time to buy, and you need to know this because there really is less competition right now than we've had in the market in a while. Just last year, we were experiencing crazy bidding wars. Things were going well above asking, and now we're seeing some bidding wars, but they're not crazy, and they're not going well crazy above asking. They might just be going a little bit above asking. And I expect if the interest rates go down again, even just 1%, that mayhem is going to come back to this market, and there's going to be a lot more competition for you as a home buyer right now. So you have to weigh what you really want. And for me, my advice is if you can afford the monthly payment, now's a great time to buy, because the bottom line is there's going to be less competition than there will be when interest rates go down in value. So those are the 5 things that you need to know about what's happening right now in the real estate market in the city of Seattle. I want to talk a little bit about some things that I'm seeing personally in the market, and that's really this. Number 1 is that offer review dates are starting to become more of a thing in this market. And typically the homes come on the market on a Wednesday or Thursday. So you should know that as a buyer, that most of the homes listed for sale tend to arrive on a Wednesday or Thursday. And then they have an offer review date of a Monday or a Tuesday. So that means that the home is only going to be on the market for less than a week. But the thing to know, what I'm seeing right now in the market, is that sellers are not holding firm to those review dates. They say there's a review date, but are they really telling the truth? Does it really mean that they are going to wait till that Monday or Tuesday? And the truth is that if they get delivered a really nice offer that's almost too good to be true, most likely they're going to take that house off the market before the review date and it will be gone. And so you need to know that as a buyer. I'm seeing that the offer review dates don't mean a whole lot. And if you are interested in a house, I would want to call the realtor myself and ask them really how they intend to play the game. Are they going to hold firm to the review date? Because I don't want you to miss out. Or are they a little bit wiggly on it, and would they consider an early offer? And our strategy, the play that we run, is going to be different depending on what is happening with that particular house and with the action it's receiving and the interest that it's receiving. So just know that, and every house is unique, and I would love to help you. If you're interested in a house you see, feel free to text it to me or email it to me, and we can talk strategy then. I'm also seeing in this market that really there's two different markets. And yes, 60% of the homes are selling at or above asking, but what's up with the other 40% of the market? Well, that 40% I would call is part of the slower market. Now, the slower market are homes that last on the market more than 7 days that tend to sell a little bit below asking price. And there's a whole different set of plays that you want to run if you are considering making an offer on a house that's a part of the slower market. And there's a whole different set of strategy involved. But what I want to do as your realtor is prepare you as though you were going to be a part of the competitive market. And the competitive market is any home that's been on the market that we expect to be sold on the market in less than 7 days. And so there are, again, a whole different set of strategies and things that you can do to make your offer competitive that I would love to help you out with and brainstorm with you and come up really with a custom game plan just for you. Well, I hope this monthly market update for August 2023 was a helpful experience for you to listen to. If you've got questions or you want to take a deeper dive into the real estate market here in the greater Seattle region, my team and I, we would love to assist you. So don't hesitate to reach out, to text, to call, to email. I get calls all the time. People find me online, and I'm happy to just, be a listening ear and help you guys discern what your next right thing is, and if that really involves a move or a home sale in this region. So you can find me online at Chapman Homes HQ. I'm Matthew Chapman, and I'll see you next time.